Hey, hi everyone. I hope you all remember this question that we solved a few days ago, right? So, uh, that day, how we solved this was we used two uh, two arrays of integers, and we just calculated the even count, right? One was an even array, one was an odd array. So for each even index, we were adding in the even array, and for our odd index, we were adding in the odd array, right? I hope you remember that approach. If you don't, go back and watch that video. Okay, so in this video, it's an alternative solution to that, right? So if that was a little bit trivial to understand, so this one is a little simpler, but yeah, it will take a little more time to code, and maybe the complexity would be a little much higher, right? So here what I have done is, see, if you remember the question, I'm not going into too much deep to remember to read the question and the understanding, right? I hope if you want to understand, go through it or go through the old video to understand it, right? Okay. Now, so what I have done, I have made two four strings, right? Four strings. So first two string, if you see, first two strings, it will store only the even characters for string one. This will store the even character for the string one, and the second string will store the even character for string 2. Same for odd one, it will store the odd characters for string s1, and this will store the odd characters for string s2, right, as a string builder. So here we are just putting the even values. If you see, if it's even, the first one will be storing the even characters from the first string, and the second one is storing the even character from the second string. Similarly for odd one. Okay, now then we are checking boolean, sorry, is anagram. So what we understood from the question was that for even character, right, for even characters, if it is anagram, and for odd characters, okay, if, so what I want to let you know that if these two strings, these two an1 and an2, if these two are anagrams and these two are also anagrams, then anyhow string 1 can be converted to string 2, right? If any of them is not an anagram, then it is not possible, right? So that is what I am doing. First I am checking for, for the even strings. So if even n1 and an2, if these two are anagrams to each other, so this one will be true. And similarly, odd one and odd two, if though these two are anagrams to each other, then this one will also be true. And if both are true, then we are returning true, right? So you can check here. So anagram is a simple one, right? You just need to take two strings, store the map, and once you have once you have stored the characters in the map, just traverse the second string and check for the characters, right? Else if you can use the sorting way, but sorting will take n log n time, right? So this one will become more complex, right? I would suggest take the map way. So yes, so yeah, so why I am using this way, it's more simpler to understand, a bit complex to code, because yeah, it's taking around 50 lines of code, but the earlier submission, if I show you, it's taking around 25 lines of code, so just half of the half lines, right, than the current code. But yeah, it's a little jargon to understand, not too much. If you go to the depth, it can be understood, but yeah, so it is much simpler to understand. Yeah, so that was one concern that I was it's a better solution, or a better approach to understand in the first go, then you can go to the second approach, right? Yeah, thanks, bye.